Presentation from APHA, November 2021. The Animal and Plant Health Agency, or APHA, is an executive agency of the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, and also works on behalf of the Scottish Government and Welsh Government. Our headquarters is located in Weybridge, Surrey. We employ around 2,200 staff based at various sites across the UK and 5 main offices in Scotland. These are Ayr, Galashiels, Perth, Inverurie and Inverness. We're responsible for identifying and controlling endemic and exotic diseases and pests in animals, plants and bees, and surveillance of new and emerging pests and diseases. Scientific research in areas such as bacterial, viral, prion and parasitic diseases and vaccines, and food safety, and act as an international reference laboratory for many farm animal diseases. Facilitating international trade in animals, products and animal origin and plants. Protecting endangered wildlife through licensing and registration. Managing a programme of apiary bee inspections, diagnostics, research and development, and training and advice, and regulating the safe disposal of animal byproducts to reduce the risk of potentially dangerous substances entering the food chain. Now for Petkeeper Guidance. Pigs are farmed animals in the eyes of the law and subject to rules and regulations applicable to any size of herd. This is because all pigs are susceptible to a number of highly contagious diseases such as swine fever and foot and mouth disease, which could have a devastating effect on the UK's agricultural industry if allowed to spread unchecked. Keeping a pig in domestic surroundings has the potential to expose you and your family to zoonotic diseases, that is, diseases that can be transmitted between animals and humans. As a prospective pig owner, you must ensure you know what type of pig you are buying so you can provide it with a suitable living environment. Ensure you understand and can cater for the welfare needs of your pig before you get it. Get a county parish holding number before buying pigs. That's a CPH. Register your pig or pigs with animal health as soon as they are on your premises. Make sure your pig is properly and legally identified. Implement good biosecurity to protect your health and your pigs. Keep accurate records of your pig's movements. And keep records of any veterinary treatment it receives. As a pig owner, you must never move your pigs without proper licence or walk them without obtaining a walking licence from Animal and Plant Health Agency. Or feed your pigs or allow your pigs access to any waste food, kitchen scraps, or food that has come from a domestic or commercial kitchen. Before taking ownership of pigs, you must register with your local RPID office to obtain a county parish holding number. You also need to contact your local animal health office to register as a pig keeper and obtain a pig herd mark. You should obtain a pig movement document from the person you are receiving the pigs from. Within 3 days of movement, you must log on to scoteid.com to sign off the pig move, or scanning the QR code will take you directly to the correct page, or contact ScotEID to confirm receipt of the pigs. For moving pigs. Before moving pigs off your holding, log in to scotteid.com or contact ScotEID to consign the movement electronically. Ensure you have the correct CPH and contact details of the receiving keeper. Take a copy of the movement document with you for transportation purposes and give the receiving keeper a copy of the movement document. The ScotEID database uses cooperative data at an individual level, allowing real-time tracking of livestock all the way through the supply chain to the point of entry to the food chain. This holy grail for farmers, abattoirs, governments, health officials and consumers has been achieved by ScotEID working with the industry to provide accurate identification and movement data with continuous analysis of that data. Although ScotEID originally dealt with sheep and goat movements, it was designed with the purpose of becoming an all-species database over time and has now expanded to record cattle and pig movements. The latest phase is recording of horse IDs and movements. The Scottish Livestock Traceability Research Team, ScotEID, works closely with the Scottish Government and the livestock sector to design, develop and deliver solutions to ensure robust traceability and minimise legislative difficulties. Notification of movements. The notification must specify the following information: the address, including postcode and CPH number of the holdings from and to which the pigs are being moved, the date of the movement, the number of pigs moved, the identification mark of each pig moved, and, in the case of pigs moved from a market, the lot number of the pigs being moved. Identification can be a permanent mark, so that would be an ear tag, slap mark or tattoo. A valid herd mark must be used for pigs moving to a market, abattoir or moving farm to farm over 12 months of age. Pigs moving to a show must have an individual ID. Temporary marks or a paint mark only applicable for pigs under 12 months of age moving farm to farm. Pigs must be accompanied by a movement document which identifies the holding of origin. Buying pet pigs. When purchasing a pig for keeping as a hobby or pet, particularly when purchasing a piglet, you may wish to assure yourself that you are purchasing a breed that is suited to your situation. Micro pigs are not a recognised breed, but have been developed through selective breeding to create a pig that is smaller than those produced for commercial pig keeping. However, such selective breeding, as with other specialised domestic pets, such as cats and dogs, can lead to animals which have genetic weaknesses or susceptibilities. Transporting your pet pig. Regulations concerning the transport of pigs do not apply if the transport is not in connection with an economic activity or for veterinary treatment under veterinary advice. However, when transporting your pig, you must ensure that you are mindful of its welfare needs and that you follow any instructions on its movement licence. For this reason, it is advisable to transport it either in a vehicle or trainer designed for livestock transport, or in the case of micro pigs, in a pet carrier of appropriate size and strength. Whatever means of transport you use, you will need to thoroughly cleanse and disinfect it within 24 hours of the movement and before any other animals are transported. Once the pigs have arrived at their new home, your premises will be subject to standstill rules. These rules mean that any pig or other livestock animals already on your premises will not be allowed to move off the address for a set period of time. Standstill rules help to guard against the rapid spread of notifiable diseases by providing a period during which disease being incubated can be detected and identified. Standstill rules apply different time restrictions on different species of livestock animal. For example, pigs arriving at your premises will trigger a 20-day standstill on other pigs already living there, whereas resident cattle, sheep and goats will only need a 13-day standstill. Similarly, cattle, sheep and goats moving onto your premises will impose a 13-day standstill on any pig you own. Pet pig walking licenses. Your pig should be kept in an environment where it can get sufficient exercise without being walked. However, if you live in the UK and you do want to walk your pig, you are legally obliged to obtain a pig walking licence from your local animal health office. This request should be made in writing with a description and/or a map of the route and can be emailed to the address on the slide. This is an example of an application to walk a pet pig, sheep or goat. To apply for a licence, you will need to submit a proposed walking route for assessment by one of our veterinary officers. If they believe your route risks spreading disease, for example, due to the proximity of a livestock market, high health status pig farm, or fast food outlets, your application will be rejected and you will be asked to provide an amended or alternative route. These controls are necessary because walking your pig can increase its risk of contracting and/or spreading diseases. If your application is approved, you will be issued with a licence that allows you to walk your pig on the licensed route only. There is no need to keep a written record of movements covered by a walking licence, but you will be required to carry a copy of the licence with you when walking your pig and to present it to the police or an animal health inspector if required to do so. You will need to renew your licence annually. Record keeping requirements. Movement records. All pig owners, from those keeping pet pigs to commercial pig farmers, are required to keep records of the animals moving on or off their premises. This information, known as a holding movement record, can be kept in written or electronic form. Medicine records. It is a legal requirement for you to keep a record of any veterinary medicines purchased and administered to your pigs. Primarily, these rules are in place for consumer protection purposes, but even if your pig is a pet, you must record the name of the product and the batch number, the date of acquisition, the quantity acquired, the name and address of the supplier, the date of administration, the quantity administered, the withdrawal period, and the identity of the pig or pigs treated. Feeding your pig. As a pig owner, you must know it is illegal to feed your animal with waste food and scraps from your own kitchen or dinner table. It is also illegal to feed pigs with waste food from restaurants, kitchens, and other catering facilities, even if they cater solely for vegetarians. This is because contaminated waste food can spread viruses and bacteria to livestock, so not only could your pet become very ill, but it could also quickly infect other animals. Feed your pigs the right food. Don't feed food scraps and catering waste from any restaurant or commercial kitchen, including vegan kitchens. Don't feed domestic kitchen waste or scraps. Don't feed raw partially cooked or fully cooked meat and fish. This includes shellfish. And don't feed dog and cat food. You can feed specially formulated commercial pig feed as a safe and easy way to give your pigs a balanced diet. And also you can feed fruit and vegetable material that has never entered a kitchen and which has not come into contact with material of animal origin. Also, it's a good idea to practice good biosecurity. Use dedicated clothing and boots for you and anyone coming onto your premises. Prevent vehicles or equipment from coming onto your premises unless cleaned and disinfected first. Ensure that people who look after or visit your pigs understand the disease risk of bringing back meat products, and in particular wild boar meat or pork and pork products from affected countries. Trade of pork from affected areas in these countries is illegal. Don't bring meat products onto the farm to avoid accidental access to pigs. There is an increased risk of African swine fever spreading to the UK. Feeding pigs kitchen scraps and catering waste can spread this disease and is illegal. Your pig's welfare. Owners and keepers are legally responsible for ensuring that the welfare needs of their animals are met. For your pet pig, this means that you should ensure that it has a suitable place to live. Pigs are intelligent animals and need to be stimulated, so you will need to consider how to enrich their environment. You should also seek advice on how much space your pig will need. This will depend on the breed and how big it will grow. Your pig should also have a suitable diet, appropriate food as outlined in this document, and a supply of clean, fresh drinking water. They should be able to exhibit normal behaviour. Pigs like to be able to root about, and particularly in hot weather, to wallow. Your pig should be protected from pain, suffering, injury and disease. For example, you need to consider if your pig can access sufficient shade to protect it from the sun, and that its environment is free of objects that could harm it, such as items with sharp edges. Cruelty to your pig and/or failure to meet its welfare needs may result in you being banned from keeping animals, fined up to £20,000 and/or sent to prison. If you stop keeping pigs, you should ensure that the new owner or keeper has suitable premises and adequate knowledge of the requirements outlined in this leaflet so that the pigs can be properly cared for. If your pig dies. As a farm animal species, the law prohibits burial of your pet pig when it dies. Instead, the body must be taken to or collected by an approved knacker's yard, hunt kennel, incinerator or rendering operator by private arrangement. Details of suitable facilities in your area can be found on the Animal Health website or can be obtained from your local Animal Health office, local authority or veterinary surgeon. Biosecurity. As well as observing the licensing and standstill requirements for pig movements, both on and off your premises, there are some simple steps that you can take to prevent the health of both your pet pigs and other animals. Most importantly, you should prevent both direct and indirect contact with other farmed animal species. Indirect contact means coming into contact with material such as feces or saliva from another animal, for example, as a result of walking through dirty bedding or stroking.